Exudates. Why plants feed the soil before the soil feeds them. Welcome to this WLD Audio Profile on Exudates, one of the most important processes happening in every healthy garden, and one of the least understood. When people think about soil health, they often picture compost, mulch, worm castings, biochar, or fertilisers. While all of those can play a role, there is another process taking place beneath the surface that is quietly driving much of the life in the soil. It happens every day. It happens beneath almost every healthy plant. And it begins with a simple question. Why would a plant give away food that it worked so hard to make? The answer to that question leads us into the fascinating world of root exudates. What are exudates? Exudates are compounds released by plant roots into the surrounding soil. These compounds include sugars, amino acids, proteins, carbohydrates, organic acids, enzymes, and many other substances. In simple terms, plants use sunlight to manufacture energy through photosynthesis. Most people understand that part. Leaves capture sunlight, the plant produces sugars, the plant grows. What many people do not realize is that a significant portion of that energy is not used directly by the plant. Instead, some of it is deliberately released into the soil through the roots. At first glance, this seems wasteful. Why would a plant spend energy producing food only to give it away? The answer is because the plant is not feeding the soil out of generosity. It is investing. The underground marketplace. One way to think about exudates is to imagine an underground marketplace. A plant releases sugars and other compounds into the soil. Microbes, bacteria, fungi, and other organisms respond. Different exudates attract different groups of microorganisms. The plant is effectively sending out invitations. Some microbes help unlock nutrients. Some improve soil structure. Some protect roots from disease. Some help move water. Some form long-term partnerships with plants. The plant supplies energy. The microbes provide services. Both benefit. Rather than existing as isolated organisms, plants and soil life become part of a living system built on exchange, the rhizosphere. The area immediately surrounding plant roots is known as the rhizosphere. This narrow zone is one of the busiest biological environments on Earth. In a healthy soil, billions of organisms may exist within a small volume surrounding the roots. Many of these organisms are responding directly to root exudates. Without exudates, much of this activity would not occur. The rhizosphere is not simply dirt surrounding roots. It is a living community constantly being influenced by the plant itself. Every day the plant is shaping its environment. Every day the soil community is responding. Why living roots matter. This helps explain why many regenerative growers place so much importance on maintaining living roots in the soil. A layer of mulch is valuable, compost is valuable, but neither is actively releasing exudates. Living plants continue feeding soil biology. Living plants continue supporting microbial populations. Living plants continue driving biological activity. This is one reason cover crops have become so important in regenerative agriculture. Their value is not only in the biomass they eventually produce, their value begins while they are alive. Even before they are cut, mulched, or composted, they are already contributing to soil health through their exudates. A garden, full of different conversations. Different plants release different exudates. This means that every species contributes something unique to the soil ecosystem. A monoculture tends to support a narrower range of soil life. A diverse planting supports a broader range of organisms. This helps explain why mixed gardens and food forests often develop richer soil biology over time. Bananas are releasing one set of compounds. Pigeon pea is releasing another. Sweet potato contributes something different again. Ground covers, herbs, shrubs, and trees all participate in this underground exchange. The greater the diversity above ground, the greater the diversity of conversations occurring below ground. Exudates and nutrient availability. One of the most remarkable aspects of exudates is their role in nutrient cycling. Many nutrients exist within the soil but remain unavailable to plants. Certain microbes have the ability to unlock these nutrients. Plants can influence which microbes gather around their roots by adjusting the exudates they release. In effect, plants help recruit the workforce they need. Instead of passively waiting for nutrients to arrive, Plants actively participate in creating the conditions that make those nutrients available. The soil becomes less like a storage container and more like a functioning ecosystem. What happens when soil is left bare? Imagine a paddock with no living plants, no roots, no exudates, no continuous food source for soil biology. Over time, microbial activity declines. Soil structure can weaken, organic matter can decrease. The biological engine begins to slow. Now compare that to a system with continuous living cover. Roots remain active, exudates continue flowing. Microbial populations remain supported. Biological processes continue functioning. This is one reason many natural ecosystems rarely leave soil exposed for long. Nature generally prefers living cover. Bare soil is often treated as a temporary condition. Exudates and mycorrhizal fungi. One of the most fascinating partnerships involves mycorrhizal fungi. These fungi form associations with plant roots and extend vast networks through the soil. In exchange for sugars supplied through exudates, the fungi help transport water and nutrients back to the plant. Some researchers describe these fungal networks as extensions of the root system itself. A plant may only physically occupy a small area, but through fungal partnerships, it can access resources from a much larger volume of soil. The relationship begins with exchange. The plant provides energy. The fungi provide access. Both benefit. Why gardeners should care. You do not need a microscope to benefit from this knowledge. The practical lessons are surprisingly simple. Keep living roots in the ground whenever possible. Avoid leaving large areas of bare soil. Encourage diversity. Use cover crops. Protect soil structure. Reduce unnecessary disturbance. Support systems that maintain biological activity year-round. Many successful gardens follow these principles without ever using the word exudate. Yet understanding the concept helps explain why these practices work. Looking at a garden differently. Once you understand exudates, it becomes difficult to look at a garden in the same way. A banana is no longer just producing fruit. A sweet potato is no longer simply covering the soil. A pigeon pea is doing more than fixing nitrogen. Every living plant is participating in an ongoing exchange with the soil. Every root is helping shape the biological community around it. Every healthy plant becomes part of a larger system. The garden stops being a collection of individual plants. It becomes a network of relationships. Final thoughts. Many gardeners focus on what they can add to the soil: compost, mulch, manure, biochar, minerals. These can all be valuable tools, but some of the most important work is being performed by the plants themselves. Through exudates, plants continuously invest energy into the soil community. They recruit allies, support microbes, build relationships, and help create the conditions needed for long-term fertility. The next time you walk through a garden, remember that beneath every healthy plant, an invisible exchange is taking place. Roots are feeding microbes, microbes are supporting plants, and together they are building soil from the ground up. Thanks for listening to WLD Audio. If you arrived here from the WLD library, don't forget to head back when you're finished. You'll find more crop guides, information sheets, videos, and related topics waiting for you there. Scan the QR or follow the link in description. We hope this information was useful to someone out there.